All right, so this is really great, though. We've created a subdocument. We've added new records and removed the existing one. So let's continue. All right, so this is very cool. Up until now, we've been working with documents. So I want to mention a little bit about a different subject. So let's open up the student file and look at the student schema that we've created. Now, in this schema, there is an articles property along with the article count property. So I want the article count to reflect the number of articles that the student has. Doesn't seem unreasonable. But looky here, in this situation, we as developers have to follow the number of articles and increment it manually. As the document gets bigger and bigger, it's going to be a pain. PITA, I think, as we write. So what do we do in order to avoid all this? Yeah, there's got to be a better solution. First of all, we'll have a look at our student model and a diagram. You know how much I love them. So let's have a look. There are different properties here: name, articles, article count, and there is absolutely no connection between these two properties right now. Now we expect article count property will look at the articles and return a number to us. So we've got to come up with an idea, a new idea, and it's called virtual type. And that's going to help us solve it. So let's look at this diagram again. There's no article count in my database. I just stored my article count in the server. And rather than storing it to both database and the server, Mongoose knows. So I can just access the count, and in this case, the length of articles, and return the number just when I want to. So virtual type refers to the properties that we don't persist to our database. I'll show you what I mean in an example. So I think you can predict what kind of path I'm going to follow here. We'll create a new test file. We're going to see how these virtual types work. So inside of a test directory, I will add a new file called virtualtype_test.js. Okay, and this is where we cue the boilerplate. And you know what I mean. Const assert equal require assert. And const student equal require source student. Well, now it's time to describe our virtual types. So inside here, we're going to write our first test. So I'll write an it block here and say it article counts, and then done callback. Now we're going to write the test, update our records, and we'll be able to see if the test passes. All right, so now as usual, I'm going to create a student, fetch, save it from the database, and look at the article count properties, see if its value is going to be true or not. So const JSON equal new student, and its name is Jason. And it has articles property, has one title, first title within an array. And now you can see there is no article count property. So let's save JSON and then fetch him out of the student collection. And another dot then with the student returned from here. And now we will look at the article count property of it. So say assert student dot article count here, and I want article count to be 1, and finally call my done callback. All right, so this test looks like it's logical. So let's check the command line. Well, you see that our test didn't pass. Yeah, there's no connection between the articles and the article count property. For now. All right, so it's time to define a virtual type and you'll see that our test will pass. You ready? It's on the other side of this break.